The next person to tell a recovery story is Earl Miller. He's a father of 2 little girls, a local artist, and a member of the Western Mass Recovery Learning Community. Please welcome him in telling his story.
I'm pretty scared. You guys are a lot of fancy people. Last night, my dad had to convince me not to wear my Kenny Rogers shirt here. So, that happened. So I guess, I'm somebody who has been in and out of hospitals for a very long time. I started going to hospitals when I was 12. I had a pretty rough upbringing, and I think, in hindsight, it makes sense that at that point in my life, I wanted to hurt myself. I didn't know how to respond to these unusual things that were happening around me. And so I went to a hospital, and I was a foster kid, and I was not easy to replace, so I ended up being in that hospital for 7 months. And I got out for a few months, and I went back for a few months, and you can kind of fill my teenage years in by, I was in the hospital as much as I was out of the hospital. When I was 17, I had a meeting with my team. They weren't necessarily my team, but they called themselves my team. And they discussed what they saw as my future. What they saw in my future was maybe a long stay in a state hospital, a lot of medication. I probably shouldn't have kids. Probably not built for that. I shouldn't get a hard job because I won't be able to handle the stress of that. So I should, basically I should lock myself in a closet, maybe get a TV, but not any cable channels. Don't want to scare yourself. And yeah, so that was what people saw from me, and that continued. I mean, the reality for me is, we talked a little bit about substance abuse. I was medicated a lot as a child, so when I became an adult and I couldn't access those traditional services, I medicated myself. I didn't know how to deal with the world without some chemical keeping me from getting too out of sorts. So yeah, that continues for a while. And I have a lot of diagnoses. None of them are fun. I don't have a likes to play volleyball diagnosis. It's all anxiety stuff, and I can be a little bit paranoid. The world is a scary place, and I don't know who isn't a little bit paranoid. So yeah, I really was somebody who felt fragile. I felt like the world needed to kind of make space for the fact that I wasn't capable. I had been told by really well-meaning people, and I'm not here to say that people who work in those places aren't good people. They're really good. They're really nice, and really well-intentioned people have done some really awful things to me, but I don't think they were bad. I've been to multiple partial programs. I know my friend Baxter here, he's a great guy. I've been to the Holyoke Partial Program about once a year since I've been in Massachusetts. And so yeah, I guess I say all that to get to the point of about a year and a half ago, I walked into the Western Mass Recovery Learning Community. I met them at the Holyoke Partial Program. They were there during lunch. I was eating my delicious ham sandwich, and they were hospital food. Hospital food is iffy, but Holyoke is pretty good. They're up there. Don't order the cheese cup. But yeah, so these people come in and they talked about this idea of people are capable and recovery is possible, and that we don't have rules here. You can come in and we're not going to lock the doors behind you, which was a novel concept because everywhere I went they locked me in and they weren't going to lock me in. That seemed really cool. And so I went. And when I started out there, I didn't want to talk to anybody. So I hung out with the deaf community. And they were great. They were just really nice women, and they hugged me, and they yelled at me, and they demanded I was fired before I was hired. But they liked me. And it was a cool thing. And I think sometimes when we talk about these things, it can get really easy to talk a lot about these medical terms, but these people loved me. And that was something that was missing in my life, was someone to love me. I didn't think I was deserving of that. And so I hung out. They couldn't get rid of me. I showed up every day. And I learned a lot of things about myself. I learned that I'm not fragile. I am capable. I am capable of standing up for myself. And when things get bad, and I feel a lot of anxiety, and I feel stressed out, and I feel upset, if there are people to support me. I don't have a team, I have friends. Like, that's a novel concept. I've never had friends. I always had a team. It wasn't really my team. I'd like to reiterate that. And so, and here's my favorite part, because I do work there now. But they didn't just show up one day and say like, Earl, you've been here long enough, you can work here. They gave me an opportunity. They gave me an opportunity to work my way in. You know what I mean? I started off helping facilitate a youth career arts group, and I was able to pick up more hours and more hours. Now they can't get rid of me. I show up early every day. I eat Hot Pockets, but we do lots of cool things, and like I'm able to see these people who, you know, I'm able to be around people who are like me, and they're not broken, and maybe they're going through some hard things, and they need to talk to someone. At an earlier point in my life, when I started doing music, someone had told me that I shouldn't do it because it might be triggering. But everything's triggering. And so I didn't for a long time because I thought I wasn't capable of it. And then I started doing it. And it's something I really like doing. It's something that like adds a lot of fulfillment to my life. You know, I have 2 kids. I'm a single father half the week. And I'm able to do that. I'm able to love them. And I don't feel like they're little ticking time bombs, although they're awful. But they're not, I'm not worried that they're going to grow up with some chemical in their brain that makes them bad. They're just people, and their experiences are what their experiences will be. But yeah, the recovery learning community changed my life in a lot of ways. I'm really nervous, like I go do this shit. Please don't hold this against me. I feel like I'm going to end up in your facilities at some point. What's going on?
Fantastic.
I'm reality checking.
Yes.
That's a positive coping skill. So yeah, I'm a member of the Western Mass Recovery Learning Community. We have a place called the FIA at Pure Respite. Earlier in my time here, I used that place, and it was an alternative to the hospital. And we're talking about budgets. I'm expensive. I'm very expensive. I will be in the hospital a lot. Nobody wants to pay for that. But I went to a FIA for a week, and I was able to continue doing all the things I did. I was able to continue seeing my children. I was able to keep up with all my stuff. And I don't know. I feel like there should be some fancy wrap-up where I'm like, and then I woke up yesterday, and everything was fine. Birds flew around my head. And like, there isn't. Life is what it is. And I feel capable of meeting the day where it finds me. And I feel capable of, you know, it's like an AA term of like living life on life's terms. And that's something I wasn't capable of doing before. I felt broken, and today I don't feel broken. I just feel like a person having a human experience. My human experience may be somewhat different than yours, but it's not invalid, and I'm not incapable. And I work for everything I got, and I'm allowed to do that. So yeah, the girl before me did way better. But thank you.
Thank you.